Alright, so everybody has insecurities about themselves and about their bodies, especially when it comes to women. So today we are going to talk about it. I have myself, Diana, as well as Buck, and we are going to talk about body image issues, right? Can be quite sensitive, I would say, to some people, right? Yeah, I mean, okay, so we're going to come from like a different perspective from, I think, everybody. I think because Mama Buck, as I would call her, I almost call her Mom for like, I was like, Mom? No. Mama Buck, you know, she has given birth. I'm sure that it in itself has come with a lot of body image issues as well. I mean, Diana, I'm not sure about you, but, you know, generalizing women, even myself last time when I was younger also had body image issues. So we're just here to share that it's really, really normal and talk a little bit about our experiences with all of that. So, okay, like first of all, most of the time, insecurities and body image issues always come from, you know, other people's comments. It's normally someone who's influenced it's normally someone who's influenced to think that, you know, they have a flaw or something like that. Because no kid is born saying like, I have insecurities, because they probably don't really know like the cookie cutter definition of perfection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So let's talk about some of those factors. I think one of them is definitely a social media.
Definitely. I think social media plays a very big part of like causing me to have like a bit of a body image or insecurity, because we are always bombarded with people who have like perfect bodies, like big boobs, big butt, like
Small
skinny, small waist,
Tiny waist.
even like perfect skin and this kind of thing. Actually, like, wow, we really want to look like them, and then it's like, oh no, I'm having pimples these days, and it affects us a little bit.
Exactly. And I think like because it's so global now, we always like to use the word global, like global sensations, because nowadays with social media anything can go viral at any point of time. You see the perfect person that comes from the other side of the planet. Like you don't no longer see like, oh, who's the prettiest girl in Singapore, you know what I mean? Last time it was like, oh, okay, as Miss Universe, you know, like back in my time when I was a teenager. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, now that there's like social media and everything, we see quote-unquote influencers from all over the world, content creators from all over the world, models from all over the world, and now with like K-pop and the perfect standards of K-pop also, that has some form of influence as to how people view perfection is now, right? So, but what are some of your experiences with social media and insecurities?
For me, social media not that much, because like I don't really care how other people look. But for myself, like when I was pregnant, you know, or even when I was a child growing up, I used to be fat.
Really?
Yeah, I used to be fat. I used to be in a tough club.
Okay.
Yeah, and people would call me like fishball girl and stuff like that.
Oh, that's so
And then,
mean.
yeah, when I was young, like my brother was really skinny, and my relatives were like, you know, say stop, you know, stealing his
Compare.
food. Yeah, and then I'm just like, okay. So yeah, but when I was pregnant, I gained 26 kg. If you guys didn't know,
you clearly lost it all, cause like I don't see where in the world it would fit in your current body.
no, I still have a few kilos to lose, but I'm not stressing about it at all. Yeah, so being pregnant, I really faced a lot of body changes. So yeah, I think it's the water retention and the non-stop eating like 5 meals a day of carbs and stuff. Yeah, but like I enjoyed eating, and yeah, so.
But during your pregnancy, has there ever been a case whereby like you're scrolling through Instagram, especially like, you know, your explore page, and now that Instagram's algorithm has changed to randomly provide you with content that you did not know that you want, right? That's what social media is very good at now. And you like see, I don't know, like some fitness content creator with like a very lean body. Do you ever be like, oh, does it affect you?
Not really, honestly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, you're very good. You have to teach me how to do that. I'm always like, oh man, I need to train harder. Oh man, I need to get like lean down and things like that.
Yeah, but that's your interest.
And that's true.
Yeah, my priorities are like other stuff. Like, yeah, that's why I'm not so affected by those kind of stuff.
But
Yeah.
definitely family when
Yeah.
you were younger.
Yeah,
They affect you.
definitely.
But would you say that, for example, if nobody said anything, would you think that you're like, oh, okay, I'm normal?
No, but like if compare, like we have eyes, right? So when we compare ourselves, like, oh, why is my friend, half my size or stuff like that, then maybe that's where the insecurities come from also.
So would you say that one of the reasons why people feel these insecurities is also because they compare themselves to
Yeah.
like other spectrums of people?
For sure.
Yeah. Any experiences with that, Miss Diana Bakar?
Oh, definitely. I think my insecurity also stem from like the body image that I would want to achieve. So for Brooke, I feel that she's able to accept because the body is going through a huge change when you're.
I mean,
giving
she's
birth,
bearing
right?
life.
Yeah, alive like a baby. So. For me, because I am not going through a huge change, I am more strict to myself. Like, oh, someone is looking extra pretty and all this, and I try not to compare myself. But it's very hard because the thing is that, as a content creator, you always have to look at contents that you want to do,
Yes.
and this content creator, looking at other content creators also stems to like, wow, this person is so pretty, this person has everything together,
Yes.
their body is amazing, yeah, and you cannot help but compare yourself to that kind of standards, which is not really healthy in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I think the comparison is what translates into making someone feel insecure about themselves or having like low self-esteem. So it's all about like experiences in the past. Like I said, if like a kid never understood the worldly standards of beauty, the kid will never be affected.
Yeah,
Like if a person lived in like a hole all their life, they will probably think, oh, I'm just a regular person. You will never think that you're exceptionally beautiful or like exceptionally like underwhelming in that sense.
I have a fun fact. Okay, I can't remember exactly which country, but it's a communist country, okay?
Okay.
So basically what my friend told me was that in that country there is no like billboards and stuff, right? And plastic surgery is free because everything's like, what do you call that? Basically it's a communist country, right? So everything is equal.
Yeah.
So then, yeah. So like because people don't know like the standards of beauty, they don't really have something to look forward to fix. If that makes sense.
yeah,
So yeah, it's quite interesting.
It's like ignorance is bliss
Yeah,
in this case.
right.
You don't know, then like you will never know.
yeah.
That kind of thing. So I guess in a way, a lot of these insecurities first start out with ourselves. Because we have to look inwards first, then we can look outwards, right? But then a lot of the outward factors is what affects our inside.
Right.
Because I think something that Diana brought out that was pretty interesting was that skin. We always talk about perfect body, but no one actually talks about skin.
Yeah.
I have skin insecurities, but I've come to a point where like I don't care anymore.
Yeah,
It's too
exactly.
exhausting to seek perfection.
Yeah.
It's so tiring. Do you find it super tiring to be
Yeah.
perfect?
yeah, but I think when you are younger, you tend to be more affected with
Yeah.
these kind of issues than
Yes.
when you get older. Because as you get
100%.
older, you kind of understand it's like everyone's body is different, everyone's skin is different. But when you're young, you didn't know that all these factors is just because of hormones, for example,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Like when I was in uni, I remember I gave a lot of about how I looked, like how my body looked and everything. Cause like I'm a dancer ma. But I was in the category whereby I was a chubby dancer and I never got it. I never understood that. But then the more I look at like other things, the more I see like videos, the more I like photos, the worse I felt about myself when I was in uni. And it got to a point whereby like I wouldn't eat and I would over exercise. So now like it's like my philosophy to make sure nobody does that to themselves, because that is like the result of insecurity, I think. that nobody wants to go through and nobody really talks about. Everyone talks about, oh, I look at myself and I'm sad, but you don't talk about the things that you do to make yourself try to look perfect, you know what I mean? And that's the part that is damaging more so than the mental health is actually like the physical health, because I fainted.
Oh, you're so hard on yourself.
Mm.
Do you not eat?
Because I overdid it. I would say I overdid it. Now looking back, I overdid it, and that was like what, eight years ago. Like I definitely overdid it. I mean, it has become like a healthy lifestyle habit now, but I think ever since then, my now husband got so freaked out that he always had to watch me eat. Like he had to make sure that I consumed food. Like my mom and my husband will both say, you make sure she eat. They still have to tell me that because they're so traumatized by like what happened to me, that even though it's, I would say, maybe not the most severe case, but I mean, it affects your family when something terrible happens to you.
Yeah,
it's not just
definitely.
affecting you, it affects everybody around you, and that's something that everybody needs to consider about. So have you guys done anything to try to meet your perfect standards?
Definitely. I think like as a teenage girl, you know, like my friends around me are also, you know, very hiao, very vain, right? So like,
puberty, that age, right?
Yeah. And I have this very competitive friend. Yeah, so she would like we would just compete about like what we eat, what exercise we do and stuff like that. I mean like okay, not we, but
Compete?
I don't know if
Is
it's
there something to compete about in that category?
yeah, because we were both chubby, and then we were both trying to lose weight. So we like, okay, let's lose weight together as friends. And then it got like very
Competitive.
It went
wouldn't
from like
say-
healthy competition to
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
like I'm better than you at this. that kind
yeah.
of thing.
But it was so extreme that like, you know, we would like for example, like, you know, both of us went on diets, right? So I would like eat peanuts and drink green tea and stuff like that. And then she was like, oh, eating peanuts make you fat. I'm like, no, eating peanuts, but I still lost weight. Stuff like that, you know. But it's so unhealthy. It's very, very unhealthy. I will never ever do that again. Do not advise anyone else to do it.
And from like a
Yeah.
teenage girl's perspective,
Yeah.
it's so like how do you even how do two young ladies just put themselves through all of this?
But
But it's
when you're young, it's
usually
different,
starts from teenager.
Yeah.
Where, you know, like especially if you're chubbier, then people like say stuff about you, you know, you're a girl, you should whatever. Yeah, nasty stuff. So then
Do you think that the reason for that is because like when you were younger, your family used to compare you to your brother, that motivated you to wanna go through this diet thing with your friend?
not really.
Not really.
Yeah, it's just like I just feel very insecure because everyone else around me were like normal sized. And
It's
I
like you
wasn't.
see the whole world is like certain size, then you one person is a
Yeah,
different size. Then
yeah.
okay, yeah, I get that. Yeah, Diana, any experiences like this that has affected your body securities?
I feel like when I was younger, my insecurity was actually my face because I had a acne, like hormonal acne breakout when I was in uni actually. So it's not even when I was in secondary school.
Yo, I'm having hormonal acne at the age of 30. I'm like 30 this year and my skin's just not it right now. So it can
Yeah.
happen to anybody.
Yeah,
okay?
At any time.
At any
yes,
time. It's very
definitely.
normal. Okay, yes, continue.
I used to be super insecure about it, but for my body, not really because I used to be
Because
very
girl, you hot. So
Thank
it's
you.
fine.
Yeah, but it was my face that was the issue, and I felt really insecure about it, and I had to pile on makeup on top of it. But the problem with like piling on makeup with hormonal acne,
Makes it worse.
yeah, it makes it worse. First of all,
Aggravates it, right?
yeah, and you can still see the bumps. So even when I put on makeup, you can still see the bumps around it, and you can still see the redness. Sometimes it's the redness, yeah. So back then I was really a little bit into social media already. So I was insecure about it because, you know, you're supposed to be like someone that people look up to.
Yeah, I think, yes.
And then you're like not perfect. And the way that you make yourself look perfect is through editing your videos. I mean, not videos.
Your photos.
Photos to remove all the blemishes. And it's just like not you at the same time. Yeah, but yeah. I took like Accutane and went to see the doctor and all that, and all's good now.
Yeah, everyone's telling me to see a dermatologist for my skin, but I'm like, guys, it's just the scar. Because
but
I
scar
always
you can
pinch.
remove.
Yeah, because I always pinch my pimples, but
Me
it'll
too.
go away. Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
itchy hand syndrome. Okay, well, we're 100% digressing. But have you ever felt like? Let me rephrase this question. Have you ever felt that as a social media content creator, you needed to put on like a certain body image or a certain like a skincare image or like a certain image just so that, you know, your followers can be like motivated and things like that? Because last time, right, I've known you for like years. I've known her for years. And last time, Buck's body has always been super like banging. Like she always have like photos in like her bathers, and I'm like, wow, Buck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But have you ever felt that, you know, after going through pregnancy and all these like hormonal changes, that you had to uphold that?
Not really. Nowadays I just dress. I try to dress a little bit more motherly.
Okay.
But then, I mean, like with shoots and stuff, then I can be more, you know.
Fun.
Yeah. Right. And yeah, I think not really lah.
You're very good I feel like you're the kind that just like you're your own thing. You have your own thing going on.
Yeah, because
for
I
you.
really feel like my life, there's too many things going on. Like, you know, my work, and then there's Titan, and then there's family. I have 2 dogs who are really old now. And then I have my family to care about. So
Clearly you're a very busy woman, you
yeah.
are.
So like any other thing, like toxic friends, like
Negativity just out the door.
Yeah, just
right
negativity. I don't even put makeup to go to work. You know, I just look like a homeless woman. So if you guys like can't recognize me outside, that's because
I will recognize you anywhere. It's fine.
Yeah.
yeah.
You
So
still look the same with or without makeup though.
Yeah. Okay, but speaking of, you know, you were sharing the story about you and your friend being super competitive just on the basis of losing weight.
Yeah.
Has there ever been like a relationship that you have been in, regardless of whether it's a friendship or like a romantic relationship, that has caused you to feel insecure about yourself?
oh yes.
Really?
Yeah, so I dated this check if my husband is watching me. Okay, so
No,
I
he's not. Okay, can tell.
I dated this guy. Okay,
Let's call him X.
okay, let's call him X. Yeah. So he's super rich.
Okay.
And he super like cares about his appearance and
Of course.
stuff. Yeah, so he works out every day and then like watches what he eats. But at that time I was like only in high school. So like
And this was when you're living in Australia.
Canada.
Canada, okay.
Yeah. And then I was skinny at first, and then I went there. I'm like, oh my god, so much food, so much
Tim
freedom.
Hortons,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly right. I was
Donut holes.
yeah, and then I started eating so much. I gained so much weight. Oh, and because at that time I was also vegetarian for 2 years, there were a lot of food that I couldn't eat. So the food that I could eat mostly were like carbs. Yeah,
And like tofu.
yeah, so lots of carbs, right? And so I gained a lot of weight, and then he would like comment on my appearance and stuff. Yeah, so I feel very demoralized and insecure.
Was that the reason why you guys split?
Not really. We had to. He had to go overseas to study. after that.
How long did you endure that?
No, I would say, other than that part of that insecurity part that he made me feel, I really enjoyed the relationship.
But did it really make you feel very terrible? Do you feel the need to do something about it after he commented?
Yeah, like I would go and exercise more, but I still enjoyed my food, so I didn't really lose weight. I was just insecure, but exercising more, but still fat.
So cute. Okay, I love how you embrace that.
Yeah.
Diana, when we were looking at the notes on the
Oh.
printed notes,
I feel that
you pointed that out. So I'm sure you
Yeah.
have something to say about insecurities in relationships.
I've seen so much. Okay, the problem with this is that I didn't go through it at all.
Okay.
So,
But you do know of people.
yeah,
Okay.
people who are in a relationship and their boyfriends will actually say like really bad stuff, like you're getting fat and stuff like that to the girl, and I'm like, how is this possible?
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, no, my significant others didn't say anything about my weight or whatever, but I did hear some comments like back a few years ago that, oh, you're gaining weight, and this kind of thing is a passing comment from like people generally, and then it does affect you
It
when
does,
you hear
it
it
does.
more often. Yeah, and you're like, am I really gaining weight? Is it that bad? And then you just realize that, oh, but I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm enjoying my food. I'm enjoying my company. Why?
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I chose my battles. I choose to be fat and happy.
I choose food.
Yeah, I choose food and happiness.
But when it comes to insecurities in a relationship, it's not just about like your partner and yourself. I'm
Yeah.
sure there are other factors as well. Like for example, another girl comes into the picture, even though they may be friends, but maybe she's like, you know, a hot blonde. I'm
yeah,
just really
right.
like
Hot.
I'm throwing stereotypes out there right now,
Yeah.
but you guys get what I mean.
Yeah.
Have you been in a scenario where you have felt that you were affected by your partner's friends?
Not friends because I'm the hottest. Just kidding.
You are. I
No,
love
no,
it.
no.
Embrace
But-
it. Love it.
But more of like I don't know how to say. It's just that like, okay, for example, his eyes like wonders, right? And then I used to be like a super jealous like girlfriend, but now I'm just like, do whatever you want. Take him if you want, you know. But yeah, if he looks at other girls or like I catch him looking at other girls, I feel very insecure about myself. Like
what is it about this other person that
I
makes
don't
you
have
turn heads?
yeah, stuff like that. But no longer because
Mine is when I see other girls. I'm like, oh, because I check other girls out
Yeah,
too.
for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I tend to check other girls out more. So when they're like passing by a traffic light or something, I'm like, wow, she has nice ass. And
Yeah.
I wish I have an ass like her.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a wish. Yeah, but I realize also, as you mature, right, you realize there's gonna be other people who are better
Yeah,
looking
for
than
sure.
you, who's gonna be like better in a lot of things. than you.
Yes, exactly.
And part of it is accepting who you are.
Yes.
And like if you want to try to be a better person, you want to like maybe go work out and at the gym to have
Yeah.
a nicer body or whatever, you can try, but don't be too harsh on yourself. I guess
Yeah.
that's the most
Yeah.
important part.
Like I know of friends who have partners like who have jealous girlfriends. I have know of guy friends who have jealous girlfriends, and sometimes they really like take it like too far to a certain extent. Like, oh, you can't be friends with this person, you can't be friends with that person, and I think it really affects a relationship. Yes, it's one thing for a guy's head to turn. I mean, if a guy's head turn, that will definitely make you feel insecure in a certain way as a woman.
No, it's
right?
not just like, you know, a peak. It's like
like
I'm like,
stare.
excuse me, I'm right here, you know.
Yeah. But I think like when I was younger, so I used to get jealous of my then boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend's female friends. Then as I got older, when I got together with my now husband Wei En, right, I never had that anymore because first of all, I'm too busy to care.
Yeah.
Like I'm at the state of mind where I think I'm the best partner
Person
for you.
Yeah.
So if you don't think so, by all means, your
Yeah.
loss. So that's my current
Same.
mindset.
Yeah.
But I get it when, you know, teenagers or people who are in their late teens or like young women go through it and they're just asking, are you okay? Aren't you okay with, you know, Wei En hanging out with female friends? I'm like, no, please let him go. Not he'll always like disturb me at home and I can't have my peace.
Wow, you guys are really mature. I'm not. Like,
No, you have to understand we are both married.
oh yeah.
We
yeah,
see
yeah.
the same guy
Yeah.
every day when we wake up, every night when I go
But
to bed.
what about before you marry? Would you mind if like they look at other women, or like do you feel like jealousy?
I don't really feel that because bear in mind that Wei and I did long distance relationship for 3.5 years.
Oh yeah, that's the hardest part.
So if something would have happened, it would have already happened. If I wanted to have my suspicions, it would have already happened, especially at that point of time. But for me, it's like he communicates well with me. And as long as we're both honest with each other, there is no reason that I should doubt him, because I'm in good faith as his partner. I'm giving him the best I can give, and I would expect that same thing in return. Like, that was my mindset, like when I was like later on in life, when I was in uni.
Wow.
Yeah. But when I was in like poly, so we're talking about like 17, 18, I was like, no, you have to be with me every single day. I have to see you every single day. If I don't see you every single day, I might die. And that was like my mindset. So like, and my then boyfriend was like in the arts and design school. Clearly a lot of women there, right? A lot of girls there, right? I'll be like, who are you hanging out with? Who is she? Can I hang out with her? Because I'm the kind that make best friends with your enemies kind of person. So I will force my way in.
Really,
Yeah.
for me, it's more like I need to know the person. Like, part of it is this insecurity as well. Even if they're prettier or they're not, or like whatever, I just need to be there. Like, why if it's normal friends, why I cannot?
Now looking back, right, it's so ridiculous. I was so insecure to the extent of which, right, every time like I was hanging out with my boyfriend's female friends, I must like hold him in a certain way.
Oh, I don't need to hold.
I need to like attach myself like I'm
mine.
like I'm an extension of his body. Now looking
Like
back, that
my
was
man.
like more than 10 years ago. I'm like, I was an idiot.
It's
But
okay, we
you know,
all
you
evolve.
grow
Yes.
out of it.
Right.
Yeah. Yes. So, I mean, clearly we've all grown with it. We've all grown out of it. You know, some people continue to grow with it, but it's a very common process of life, dealing with insecurities. And
I think, right, can I just add one
yes,
point?
please.
Like how we grew up in our family also plays a huge part. Like if we felt safe as a kid, or if we were like from a broken family, we tend to be attached to someone more,
Yeah, because you just need to find an anchor.
Right.
And you need some form of validation from that person. And I think that is what amounts to what makes a person feel insecure. So
Right,
because
exactly.
if that person is not validating you, then you'll be like, oh, there's something wrong with me? Do I need to change that part of me in order for the person to validate that aspect? So
And then if if your dad wasn't there, and then you want to find like a man to replace like your father, right? Then it's like you constantly need
daddy
a guy.
issues is what it's called.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so that was me. I was like attached for my whole entire life until I decided to settle. Yeah, I'm stuck.
But I think what you said was also right in terms of like body image, because I know some people have like very strict like mother and stuff like that, and they want their princess to grow up like perfect.
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I
And
watched those.
Yeah, shows, and it's so sad. I think one thing I'm really glad is that my family did never ever mind how I look. They
Yes.
just don't really care.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they're like, it's my genes anyways.
Yeah.
Right. Just
I'm just insulting myself.
No,
Never
no.
mind.
But I mean, of course, when it comes down to insecurities, there's one thing that is just like a superficial and surface level. So it's like amount to appearance and stuff.
Yeah.
But then it comes to a point where if it's harmful to yourself or your health, then that is something
or your
that
pocket.
that is something whereby you probably need to do something about it. For example, obesity is a known health risk.
Yes.
And some people, even though they are like they embrace it, and that's great.
Yeah.
But always make sure your health comes first, and you can be of whatever weight, of whatever shape, of whatever height you want, as long as you are healthy.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think as long as you stay active, you continue to be healthy, because there's a lot of health risks when it comes to not being fully aware of yourself also. So as much as we want to say that, like, don't care about those insecurities, you just push them aside because love yourself. But being healthy and being healthy for yourself is also loving yourself.
Yeah.
Taking good care of yourself is ultimately what is loving yourself, right? And sometimes insecurities can push you in either direction. It can either make you a better person, or it can really be detrimental to your health. Like for example, like for me, I can like faint on the floor out of nowhere, and that's the downside of insecurities. So, but before we end this, do you guys have any advice on how to embrace your insecurities?
Can I ask you guys something?
Yes.
What if someone is like severely obese and they don't want to lose weight? Like they're not insecure at all of their the way they look at all. So but they are health risk.
Okay, what
What
I
do
would do
yeah.
in that case, right, is that I would just say, hey, I think your health is a bit of a concern. You might want to, get a little bit active to sort of help like your heart health, and because cardiac health is very important, right? You might want to help your heart health a little bit by like just maybe taking some walks. But all you can do is give advice. You can't force the person to
Do together with them.
to do something. Yeah, you can do it with them. You can like, hey, let's go for a walk. Like invite them for
or like
hiking trips and stuff like that.
depending on how close the person is to you, like if you're in their house, or you can introduce like good food to them, or like when they're eating something really unhealthy, you can point out like this is just pure carbs, or it's bad for you.
Yeah, I think your relationship with that person also affects how you would.
Because
speak
if you're
to that
not very
person.
close, they'll just feel like, I know.
Like, why
fat,
are you telling
just
me
leave me
that?
alone, yeah.
You need to be like close to a certain extent where you are able to share your concerns, even if it's a negative thing.
Yeah, and it has to be like brought up in a proper way.
Yeah.
Not the old thing like, what? Why are you
You
criticizing
don't
me?
just go for me, it's like, it's never okay, regardless of how close you are, to just go to someone and say, hey, you fat, lose weight lah. Because that's
that's
just
rude, man.
not very nice. Like, and the person receiving it won't feel very good about it. And especially if you're close to someone and you love the person, right?
Yeah.
You don't want the person to be like, oh, why are you trying to make me feel bad?
Or you can just like suggest like fun activities with them, like, let's go for a walk on Sundays, or like let's go to do some fun stuff.
Yeah, but ultimately you can only advise and try to help. It's up to them to want to do something about it. If they love the way they look, great. By all means, all I can do is try to be a supportive friend and help you with your health.
Right.
Because it's no longer about appearance at this point of time. It's really about health.
Yeah.
And it's so difficult sometimes, especially with social media, right? Whereby like you have to balance appearance and health, because they are very, very much related compared to what people think it is. Because again, weight, all your BMI, all this kind of thing, it comes down to like whether or not you'll be diabetic, your cholesterol levels, your heart health, your kidney, your visceral fat, and all this kind of thing. And visceral fat is not just fat that makes you look fat. Visceral fat is fat that surrounds your organs.
Inside.
Yes, on the inside that you don't see, Like someone can be really, really, really skinny but have high visceral fat. That's 100% possible as well. So I think just take good care of yourself. Make sure you guys feel right and healthy, regardless of insecurities. And I think it'll all be okay. Yeah. Any advice?
Oh, mental health, I think.
Yes.
So I think you need to build up on your mental health, because insecurities also stems from having like
self-esteem.
Self-esteem, right? And sometimes you have to keep reminding yourself that, hey, it's just the way I think.
Yeah.
It's not exactly of how it is. I'm not exactly like, maybe if someone is just a little bit overweight or something like that, or like a little bit chubby, it's not that they are unhealthy, but they want to be like skinny, right? Because of all the models and everything. But they have to remind themselves it's not how things are, Like,
everybody is born different.
Yeah, everyone's body is different.
Yeah, something that I've definitely learned the hard way is that I am not capable of having the body of someone who has, first of all, a completely different body proportion from me,
Yeah.
right? Somebody with long legs and a short body, it's very hard to get a body that is of someone with a long body and short legs. Because your body proportion in itself is just different. So
Yeah.
like understand yourself, understand your body, understand your health conditions, and just try to live your best life. I always say it like live your best life, like very casually. But I do mean it.
I just remember something.
Yes.
I remember that I wanted to be taller when I'm younger.
Yeah.
Because like of all the models, they are very tall.
Yeah, but again it's genetics.
Yeah, I know.
Right? Everybody is built different, and as long as you appreciate your body, try to lead a healthy life and be happy mentally and physically, I think you can't really go wrong in that aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, live the best one. The best life. Yeah.
Yes. So find positivity around yourselves, be it with friends, with exercise, with food, with music, anything. You find positive influences for yourself so that you can remind yourself at a constant that you are doing things for yourself, you live for yourself, and you can just forget about those insecurities that other people are putting onto you. Yeah, because usually that's how it is. Once again, you are not born insecure. Nobody is born insecure. It's normally things from the exterior factor that brings it to you. Yeah. Okay, so we have come to the end of this podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And as you would probably know, what's that saying where those who matter
Don't mind.
and those who mind don't matter. There we go. Yeah, just remember that statement because
That's
I
very
feel
true.
that it definitely applies to many, many things in our lives, including body insecurity and body image as well. So yeah, just know that everyone's built different. Everyone is beautiful in their own way. Everyone gets older. Everyone goes through phases. It's absolutely normal. And as long as you think you are enough, you are enough. Yeah, and that's it for this podcast. We'll see you guys on the next time on Girl Code, a guide to self-love. Bye.
It's Girl Code.